Hello, welcome to my channel. Before we start the video, if you're also interested in psychology, finance, and people, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. Thank you. Most people realize they made the wrong decision after it happens. Very few people actually notice what's going on in their mind while they're deciding, because the moment of decision isn't as conscious as we think it is. In that moment, the brain takes old experiences, fears, expectations, and the context you're in, blends them into one, and shows you a path that you'll think is reasonable. My friend, that's exactly what we're talking about today. 3 mental traps that guide you while you're making decisions without you even noticing. These traps aren't malicious, they're quiet, and that's exactly why they're so effective. Our first trap will probably feel very familiar to you. There are some decisions that look right at the beginning. Sometimes they really are right. The issue isn't the decision. The issue is not knowing when to stop. When everything is going well, when there's no problem, or when a result turns out better than expected, the mind does this, it forgets the starting conditions. Now, the decision starts to take shape. Not according to the goal you set at the beginning, but according to the emotional momentum of the moment. What people miss at this point is, why did I start this? What was my goal? Instead, they think, if this is going well, I should keep going. The mind perceives stopping the process as a loss, but stopping isn't always a loss. Sometimes it's just a phase shift. And the mind doesn't like that, because stopping cuts off the sense of control that action provides. That's why people struggle to stop when things are going well. And, my friend, you know what? The biggest costs are paid. Not in bad beginnings, but where good beginnings are extended far beyond what's necessary. Now, let's move on to our second trap. The second mental trap is something straight out of everyday life. And that's why it's not wrong at all to say it's even more dangerous. This trap is when a person chooses today's comfort over tomorrow's uncertainty. The mind asks, what am I feeling right now? And if the answer is, it's relieving, the future consequences become blurry. That's why people prefer decisions that lighten the weight in the short term, over decisions that provide support in the long term. Waiting feels hard, postponing feels easy, planning feels tiring, an instant solution feels tempting. My friend, here's the critical point. The mind doesn't approach the future numerically, it approaches it emotionally. The stress you feel today is concrete. The risk in the future is abstract. You see the game here, right? The brain sees what's concrete as a bigger threat. That's why so many decisions are made. Not by asking, is this right? But by asking, does this make me feel better right now? This trap is quiet and sneaky because a person doesn't realize they're fooling themselves. They just say, for now, this is fine, and move on. Now we've reached the third mental trap, Chursa. The third mental trap is the hardest one to notice. This trap is about a person thinking they're more in control than they actually are while making decisions. When you make a decision, the mind automatically assumes everything is under control. But my friend, don't forget, the feeling of control is not the same as control itself, especially in uncertain environments. Doing something feels stronger than doing nothing. That's why people forget that doing nothing is also a decision. The mind equates action with control, and that equation causes this. Stepping back feels like admitting you made a mistake. That's why some people, even when they notice a decision is going in a negative direction, still do nothing. Because if they did something, it would clash with the idea of I was managing this. But real control is knowing where to stop, waiting, letting go, and being able to change your mind when it's necessary. Otherwise, everything you do becomes no different than gambling. These 3 mental traps show us this. Most bad decisions don't come from a lack of knowledge or intelligence, but from the mind's way of protecting itself. The brain doesn't work to find the truth. It works to maintain balance. So when making a decision, the point isn't to think more. It's to notice what kind of thinking is driving you. If you haven't watched the previous video, I recommend it. And just like in that video, I have a small suggestion for you again. When you're making a decision, you can ask yourself these questions. What is keeping this going right now? This decision ties me not to where, but to when. Am I in control, or do I just think I'm in control? The purpose of these questions isn't to stop you. It's to take you one step outside the circle. Because the moment you can look at yourself from an outside perspective, these mental traps